Hello there everyone, how you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we're going into r/slash best of Redditor updates, which I just shortened down to best of in the title, don't mind me. And we're going to be reading the cream of the crop of Reddit stories. If you all enjoy, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and if you have access to this feature, please hype the video. Now, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? He wants to call off my divorce because my cancer treatment was successful. Original post, August 28th, 2022. When I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, he filed for divorce because he said it would be too much to take care of me. In my province, you have to live separately and apart for 1 year before a divorce is granted. Since he left, I've had surgery and chemotherapy, and my latest checkup shows no evidence of disease. When he found that out, I don't know how he found it out, he applied in court to withdraw the divorce application. He told me we could stay married since I'm no longer sick, and was actually shocked when I blocked the divorce withdrawal petition through my own lawyer. I don't want to be married to him after what he did. Some of OP's comments. I'm going to guess from the divorce wasn't the case of the divorce on paper, so medical bills don't screw family over. As such, what an ass move. Dump him, no empathy. OP says, my province covered everything. My only bill was for the TV to be hooked up in my hospital room after surgery. All my medical stuff was covered by MSI. Another commenter says, nurses are trained to counsel the recently diagnosed spouses of men about this. Men leave their sick partners at a far higher rate than women. I was warned about this by the medical staff after my diagnosis, and naively thought it would never happen to me. Editor's note. I'm including this comment because OP's response made me laugh. Joe Fox Zero Up, severely downvoted and mocked. Wait, how did you even get testicular cancer? Don't you need testicles to get it? And OP responded with, yes, why do you ask? As if gay couples cannot exist in the world if they do not acknowledge them. It's just wild. Anyway, we got an update post over here. My divorce was made official yesterday. It is over. 4.5 years of hell and being in limbo, and now it's over. Last night was probably the best sleep I've had in years. Maybe only second to the day I was told there was no evidence of disease. I feel like shouting from the rooftops because I am free! I was diagnosed with testicular cancer on August 30th, 2021. 7 days later, my ex-husband told me he was leaving me because it would be too much to take care of me, and he didn't sign up to be a nurse. When I had my first appointment with the oncologist a few days ago after my diagnosis, I was given a warning about men leaving their spouses when there's an illness. But I never thought it would happen to me. Every person in my support group who was married to a man had it happen to them too. It was eye-opening. I spent almost a year going through treatment. I had surgery, I had chemotherapy, and it almost killed me, but in August of 2022, I was told there was no evidence of disease. I don't know how he found out, but when he did, he wanted to call off the divorce because I had gotten better. And he was absolutely shocked when I moved forward with the divorce and did everything he could do to drag it out. I'm so glad the court finally saw through his games, and now the divorce was made official. 4 years and 6 months after he left, I haven't seen or spoken to him in years. And I don't plan to ever again. Still no evidence of disease. I got a new job with the provincial government. I'm planning a vacation for my 40th birthday. Most importantly, I am free. One of OP's comments to other commenters. Oh wow, so men do this to other men, not just women. Would you have left him if he'd gotten cancer? No, never in a million years. The thought that someone, including me, would leave when their spouse got sick never crossed my mind. When I had my first appointment after my diagnosis, and I was warned about men leaving their spouses, I thought they were mistaken and just plain wrong, and I was humbled a few days later. The top comment is, I remember you. I'm happy you got rid of both cancers. That is fantastic. Now on to the next story. My husband is going to unalive me. Original post, April 21st, 2024. My husband and I have been together long, admittedly. It's been over 4 years. Other marriages make ours look like a baby marriage. My husband started hitting me around year 1, which blindsided me as he had always been a loving, caring man. I never saw this coming, even when it was staring me right in the face. He never stopped hitting me. It only evolved. From hitting into beating. The cops have been called on him on multiple occasions, but they never do anything. I've started to see police officers as nothing more than a decorative object, just there to look good and make it feel safe temporarily. Today we had a particularly bad day. He didn't get the promotion he wanted, but nobody is. The economy, especially for the working class, is falling apart. I tried to say this, but he began getting agitated, so I shut up. Then he noticed that I was using Facebook and I was talking to my brother, and he absolutely lost it. And I don't understand why. I curled into a ball and waited for him to be done with it. I do not know why I put up with this. After I thought he was done, I moved to get up, but he grabbed me and started choking me. I honestly thought he was going to end me, but he must have gotten bored or something because he stopped. I've since locked myself in the bathroom, and I'm writing this on my laptop. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have no savings as my husband wanted me to be a stay-at-home wife. I don't have a license since mine expired, an oversight on my part, I know. But now he won't take me to get it renewed. I don't even have a tiny bit of change for bus fare to get to the DSS building. Department of Social Security, for those who don't know. Not that they'd help me anyway. The last time I tried, they told me that I couldn't even claim homelessness because I had somewhere to go back to, as if the man in that house isn't gonna kill me, but... Top comments. Commenter 1. If he strangles you, he is more likely to murder you. In fact, around 700% more likely. I know that sounds insane, but it is a real searchable statistic. Please search for domestic violence shelters in your areas. Nothing he can do is worth your life. Commenter 2 asks, is your brother nearby? Could he help you find somewhere safe to stay? Please call the police. You can have him charged with attempted murder for strangling you. Take pics and send them to someone you trust. Do not leave the bathroom. Please have someone call for help if you are unable. Commenter 3. The reason he wanted you to be a stay-at-home wife is because he wanted you to be financially dependent on him and unable to leave. He doesn't want you to get your license renewed because it makes you even more dependent on him. Please call your brother and ask him to help you out. Tell him everything that's going on. If he can't help you, call anyone else that you have in your life. If you have no one else, call a domestic violence shelter. Please just don't resign yourself to a lifetime of abuse. You can get out. Commenter 4 says, first let people in your family know what is going on in your life, like right now. Because in worst case scenario, they'll know who to blame. That last sentence in there was narrator's addition to what they said. So it ended at the right now with the commenter, but I added that last little bit, just to be clear. Anyway, update 1. Update. First of all, I'd like to apologize for causing everyone to worry. I have not gotten out yet, but I am planning on it. My brother is going to pick me up while my husband is at work and take me to an old high school friend's house. She couldn't afford her rent on her own anyway. I've been starting looking for jobs in that area, and it's going to be nice to work again. I've realized being a stay-at-home anything is not for me. I don't want to have to rely on anybody for my lifestyle, especially if someone could just rip it away at any time. Finally, thank you for all the comments and DMs to ensure I am okay. I will answer all of the DMs, as there were only about 15 of them. As for the comments, I probably won't comment on the comments, although I am very thankful for them. Update 2. So a lot of stuff happened yesterday. I'm glad my brother was able to help me. I shouldn't have got him involved. He's 16 and just started driving. He's really good at it though, most likely because our father spent a lot of time teaching him before he even turned 16 on private property, of course. Anyway, my brother pulled up and began helping me pack my stuff. Basic necessities like clothes, hygiene products, and my laptop. But for some reason, my husband came home early. I'm calling it now! There's probably a tracking device, narrator says. Really early, like it was 12:45 p.m. when he pulled in, but I have no idea why he came home so early. As you could probably guess, the situation didn't go very well. He started yelling at me and my brother. His yelling even got attention of the neighbors. Some of them came outside, but nobody did anything. They all kind of just stood there. "'Cause they're wimps," says the narrator. Anyway, my husband kept screaming at me, calling me all kinds of horrible names that I'm not going to get into what those are, but they seriously pissed off my brother, who started screaming at him back. Things came to a head when my husband grabbed my brother. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I don't remember, but for the first thing I do remember was I was standing in front of my brother and my husband was on the ground with a bloody nose. The police showed up shortly thereafter. I can only assume that one of the neighbors called the police. So one of them is less of a wimp than I assumed. Lovely. When they pulled up, my husband went apeshit. The police tried to de-escalate the situation, but the genius my husband is, he made the idiotic choice to lay hands on an officer. So, long story short, my husband gets arrested. The police talked to me, my brother, and the neighbors, and I didn't get charged or anything, but I was terrified. I was going to be, but the police said that I was well within my rights to punch him, but I should have prioritized de-escalation. Anyways, after everything was said and done, we left. I made it to my friend's house without much issue. I'm happy to be away, and I'm ecstatic to get back to some of my old hobbies. I might take up playing Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Narrator here. I've never played that before. Is that a game I should play sometime? Just like for some background footage or something? Is that worth playing? Anyway, back to the story. Thank you all for following my story, and I'm so thankful to all the advice, kind words, and everything you've all given me. Editor's note. OP did not leave any comments in this update. So, that always have an escape plan, even if you trust your friend. If they find it and get a little upset, tell them it's nothing personal, but you've seen horror stories online and you do not want to potentially expose yourself to situations like that if things get worse. Anyway, on to the next story. My manager doesn't like my maternity clothes. The original post was made on June 27th, 2020. Not 2027. That hasn't even happened yet. 2017. Sorry. I am around 30 weeks pregnant with my first child and having some difficulty with my boss over maternity clothes. I work in finance and my office has a particularly conservative dress code. Pre-pregnancy, I generally wore a sheath dress, blazer, and a string of pearls. I haven't really been able to wear anything like that for the past few months. Finding conservative maternity clothes has been difficult, but I managed to find a few suits and some plain sleeveless tops to go underneath. I've also found some black dresses that worked well with a blazer, similar to the one pictured here. I thought everything was fine. Last week, my manager pulled me into his office and told me that my current wardrobe was unacceptable. I apologized and explained that I thought I was following the dress code. I asked what specifically I needed to change. He said if I was going to wear a pantsuit, the shirt needed to be tucked in and belted. Also, he did not like the look of side ruching or an empire waist on shirts, and felt it was unprofessional. I told him that I would try to find maternity clothes that met his description, but that it would be difficult. He wasn't convinced and said that my job depends on me being dressed according to his standards. There are a few other women, but none of them have any children while I've been at this job, so I can't look to see what they've worn. Do I have any pushback here? I spent the weekend looking for clothes that meet his requirements, but I haven't been able to. He's out on vacation this week, and I'm out next week, so I have a little bit of time to figure something out. I am nervous that my job could be on the line. Update, December 13th, 2017. My situation ended up taking a very unexpected turn. I took your advice and went to HR. The first person I spoke to was absolutely horrified about the situation. She asked to see the emails and ended up calling her boss into our meeting. Her boss told me that I had nothing to worry about, to continue wearing maternity clothing as I had, and that my job was not on the line. My boss apologized, quote-unquote, about a week later with all kinds of qualifications. The apology didn't feel very genuine, but I let it go. I thought that was the end of the matter. While I was out on maternity leave, I had a baby girl, by the way. Congratulations! I received a somewhat baffling call from an HR rep wanting information about my boss. I reached out to a coworker and he let me know that our boss had been fired for sexual misconduct. The boss apparently promised an intern a job in exchange for sexual favors, and the intern reported him. HR launched an investigation and discovered the boss had been doing this for a very long time. He was immediately terminated, and no one has seen or heard from him since. He didn't even clean out his office. I came back from maternity leave to see a new, sane boss. Thank you so much for your advice. I also really appreciated all of the commenters who were very supportive and helped me see that the situation was not normal. That is the end of today's video. If you all enjoyed the stories I had for you, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and hype the video, and we do have a playlist of more Reddit stories right over here. I will see you all next time. Hasta la pasta.